Here are Grandpa's 28 Poor Man gardening hacks that will blow your mind and make planting easier. Ask gardeners for free cuttings. Sometimes, the easiest way to start new plants is by asking other gardeners for cuttings. Just look around your neighborhood or visit a community garden. If you see a plant you like, politely ask the gardener if you could take a small cutting. Use clean scissors to cut a 4 to 6 inch piece from a healthy branch. Place it in water or wrap it in a damp paper towel until you get home. Plants like mint, basil, and even roses can grow roots from these pieces. This works because many plants have special cells that let them grow roots from stems. Before you know it, you'll have a free plant for your garden, and maybe even make a new friend while you're at it. Help neighbors for extra plants. Lending a hand in the garden can pay off in unexpected ways. When you help your neighbors with weeding or planting, they might thank you with extra plants they don't need. Grandpa always said, if you help someone plant tomatoes, you might get a few seedlings in return. Offer to carry heavy bags, dig holes, or water their beds. Sometimes people thin out crowded flowers or vegetables and are glad to give away the extras. Many gardeners have more than they can use, and sharing helps everyone's gardens grow stronger. Next time you see someone working outside, lend a hand, and you just might come home with new green treasures for your own yard. Save seeds from your garden. Growing your own plants from seeds you save is both fun and thrifty. After your vegetables or flowers finish blooming, let some go to seed. Pick the dry pods or fruits, open them up, and shake out the seeds onto a plate. Let them dry out for a few days, then store them in a paper envelope in a cool, dry place. Many seeds, like beans, marigolds, or tomatoes, grow just as well as the ones you buy at the store. Plants make seeds to create the next generation, and collecting them means you can keep planting year after year without spending extra money. Label each envelope with the plant's name and date so you know what you have when it's time to plant again. Root cuttings from perennials like iris. Did you know that irises and other perennials can easily be multiplied by cutting up their roots? Here's a neat trivia. Many perennials naturally spread underground, so dividing their roots is just speeding up what they do on their own. To try this, dig up the clump of iris after it has finished flowering. Use a clean knife to slice the thick roots, making sure each piece has a leaf and some roots attached. Replant these pieces about a foot apart in loose soil. Water them well, and soon new plants will pop up. Dividing perennials helps keep the plants healthy and gives you even more flowers next season. Regrow vegetables from kitchen scraps. Don't toss those carrot tops or celery ends. Place the root end of celery, green onions, or even lettuce in a shallow bowl of water on your windowsill. In a few days, you'll see new leaves and roots begin to grow. Once you spot enough roots, plant the piece in soil and keep it watered. Plants like these have the ability to grow new shoots from leftover parts because their cells can wake up and start building new leaves and roots. It's a simple way to turn food scraps into fresh vegetables and get more from your grocery bill. Give it a try next time you chop up your salad. Mulch with fallen leaves. One of the best ways to feed your soil and protect your plants is to use the leaves that fall from trees every autumn. Don't throw them away, according to Grandpa. Instead, gather the dry leaves into a pile, then spread them in a thick layer, about 2 to 3 inches, over your garden beds and around the base of your plants. The leaves act as a blanket, keeping moisture in the ground and stopping weeds from growing. Over time, worms and other tiny creatures will break down the leaves, turning them into rich soil. This slow breakdown adds nutrients and improves the texture of your garden dirt. If you want, shred the leaves with a mower for faster results, or mix them into your compost for an extra boost. Make compost from food scraps. Don't throw away kitchen scraps. Turn them into rich compost that will feed your garden for free. After you finish meals, save things like vegetable peels, fruit rinds, eggshells, and coffee grounds. Place these scraps in a compost bin or a simple pile in the backyard, then add a bit of soil and dry leaves on top. Stir the pile every week to add air and help it break down. As the scraps rot, tiny bacteria and worms transform them into dark, crumbly compost that's perfect for your garden beds. This process recycles waste and returns important nutrients back to the earth, helping your plants grow strong and healthy. If you don't want pests, keep meat and dairy out of your compost. For even faster compost, chop up scraps before tossing them in. Pick up free compost from city piles. Many cities give away free compost made from yard waste and old leaves. Check your local community bulletin or call the city to find out when and where you can pick it up. Usually, you just need to bring your own bucket or bag and a shovel. The compost is already broken down, so it's ready to use in your garden right away. By using city compost, you help recycle green waste and give your plants a big nutrient boost. This soil amendment helps hold moisture and feeds everything from vegetables to flowers. City compost can sometimes be in high demand, so go early for the best quality. Mix it into your garden beds or use it as a top dressing for existing plants to see the difference in growth and health. Use a wheelbarrow for soil. Moving heavy soil or compost can be tough, but a sturdy wheelbarrow makes the job so much easier. Load up the soil at one end of your yard and push it to where you need it, saving your back from a lot of lifting. Grandpa was always the first to remind us, work smart, not hard. Let the wheelbarrow do the heavy lifting. To use it well, fill the wheelbarrow halfway so it's not too heavy to push, and keep both hands on the handles for balance. A wheelbarrow is also great for carrying plants, mulch, and even tools. The science behind it is simple. Its single wheel and long handles let you move heavy loads using less force, thanks to leverage, making garden chores much less tiring for everyone. Take unwanted plants from curb. Sometimes people leave unwanted plants on the curb with a sign saying free, a perfect opportunity for any gardener. If you spot potted plants, bulbs, or even shrubs set out for anyone to take, grab them and give them a new home in your garden. Most plants handle the move just fine, especially if you transplant them soon and water them well. This is a great way to try new varieties without spending any money. Often, these curbside finds are perfectly healthy, but just outgrew someone's yard or garden bed. Before bringing them home, check the plants for pests or disease so you don't introduce any problems to your own garden. If the plant looks root-bound, gently loosen the roots before planting for a healthier start. Get free seeds from the library. Did you know that many public libraries now offer free seeds for gardeners to take home and plant? Here's a fun trivia. Seed libraries started popping up in the early 2000s to help communities save and share local plants. To use one, visit your local library and ask if they have a seed sharing program. Usually, you'll find packets of vegetable, herb, or flower seeds you can check out just like a book. Some libraries even let you return seeds from your harvest for others to use. This helps preserve rare varieties and encourages more people to grow their own food. Before planting, read the instructions on each packet and start seeds at the right time for your area. With just a library card, you can fill your garden with new and interesting plants for free. Buy discount plants after season. Gardening centers often mark down their plants at the end of the season to clear space for new stock. Take a walk through the nursery in late summer or early fall, and you'll spot sales on flowers, shrubs, and even trees that need a new home. Most of these discount plants just need a little water and care to bounce back. Look for healthy roots and some green leaves, even if the tops look tired. Plant them as soon as you get home, give them a good drink, and cut away any dead growth. With some attention, these bargain finds will thrive in your garden next year. Don't be afraid to ask staff for advice on reviving plants. They're often happy to help and may even have more tips for getting the best deals. Trade plants with neighbors. Trading plants with neighbors is a simple way to grow your garden without spending money. Start by talking to people nearby who garden. Maybe you have too many tomato seedlings and they have extra marigolds or herbs. Offer to swap cuttings, seeds, or divided perennials. This kind of exchange means everyone gets more variety and stronger plants, since local varieties are already adapted to your area. When you trade, make sure the plants are healthy and pest-free so you don't pass problems along. Use pots or plastic bags to carry the plants safely. Trading can also lead to new friendships as you share tips and stories. If you're not sure what your neighbor wants, ask what they're looking for. You might be able to help each other out even more. Join a local plant swap. A plant swap is a fun way to meet other gardeners and go home with new plants for free. Look for local plant swaps on community boards or at garden clubs. Bring a few plants, cuttings, or seeds from your own garden to trade with others. Label your items clearly so people know what they are and try to bring healthy pest-free plants. When you arrive, browse the tables and talk to people about what they've brought. Everyone is there to share, so you might pick up rare finds or get advice on how to care for something new. Joining a swap also builds community and helps keep plants circulating among local gardeners. Take home your new treasures, plant them soon, and enjoy a fresh burst of green in your yard. Take cuttings from friends. Ask your friends if you can take a cutting from one of their favorite plants. It's an easy way to add to your garden. Start by picking a healthy stem that's not flowering and snip a 4 to 6 inch section with clean scissors. Remove the lower leaves and place the cutting in water or moist soil, depending on the plant. Some people dip the end in rooting powder to help it grow roots faster. Plants like pothos, mint, or coleus root especially well this way. Over a few weeks, the cutting will grow roots and be ready for a pot or garden bed. Sharing cuttings is also a nice way to keep a little piece of your friend's garden growing at your own home. Plus, it's free and fun to swap tips along the way. Pick wild plants before mowing. Before mowing the yard, take a quick walk and look for wild plants that are good for your garden or kitchen. Dandelions, plantain, and violets often grow in lawns and can be used for salads or as soil boosters. Grandpa would always go out with a basket and carefully pick these useful wild plants before starting the mower. He taught us to gently pull up the roots or snip the leaves, shaking off the dirt and making sure not to take too much from one spot. Many wild plants are rich in nutrients for compost or can be replanted in garden beds as natural ground cover. Always make sure you can safely identify any wild plant before picking and wash them thoroughly before use. Try adding young leaves to your salad for something fresh and local. Plant seeds from store-bought produce. Next time you slice open a tomato, pepper, or squash from the store, save some of the seeds for planting. Let the seeds dry on a paper towel for a few days, then store them in an envelope until you're ready to plant. Planting seeds from grocery produce is a great way to get free starts for your garden. While not every store-bought fruit will produce the exact same plant, many seeds, especially from organic or heirloom produce, can grow just fine. Sometimes hybrid varieties won't make perfect copies, but it's still fun to see what pops up. When planting, give seeds a warm, sunny spot to sprout. Start them in small pots indoors if it's still chilly outside. Later, transplant the strongest seedlings into your garden for a real experiment in growing. Use heirloom seeds for saving. Heirloom seeds are special because they have been passed down through generations and grow plants true to type each year. When you plant heirloom seeds, you can save seeds from the best fruits or flowers and know you'll get the same plant next season. Let a few tomatoes, beans, or flowers mature and dry on the plant. Then gather the seeds and store them in a labeled envelope. The benefit of using heirlooms is that their genetics stay stable, which means reliable results when you replant. Many gardeners like heirlooms for their taste, color, or resistance to local pests. Saving seeds also lets you share with friends or community gardens, helping keep rare varieties alive. Make sure your saved seeds are completely dry before storing to prevent mold. Get wood chips from tree crews. Tree trimming crews often have loads of fresh wood chips from their daily work, and most are happy to give them away for free. If you see a crew working in your neighborhood, ask politely if they have extra chips you can use. Bring a wheelbarrow, buckets, or a tarp to collect the chips while they're being loaded or just after the job is done. Wood chips make great mulch because they hold in moisture, stop weeds, and slowly add nutrients as they break down. Using fresh chips from tree crews is a simple way to cover large areas of garden beds or pathways. Make sure to let the chips sit for a few weeks if possible, so they begin to age and break down, before spreading them around tender plants for best results. Collect manure from farms. Turning animal manure into garden gold is a tradition Grandpa practiced every spring. He'd take us out to a nearby farm to collect well-aged cow or horse manure, always bringing gloves and big buckets to do the job right. We'd scoop up manure from the pile and load it into the car, making sure to pick material that's already broken down and not too fresh, since fresh manure can burn plants. Once home, we'd spread it in the garden beds and mix it into the soil a few weeks before planting. Manure is full of natural nutrients and helps soil hold water better. If you're new to collecting manure, check with local farmers and always ask permission before taking any. Composting manure further can make it even safer for your plants. Gather forest stuff for garden beds. A rich, natural mulch can be found right on the forest floor. Forest stuff, the layer of fallen leaves, twigs, pine needles, and bits of bark, covers the ground in wooded areas and helps plants thrive in nature. Carefully gather a bucket or two from places where it's thick and plentiful, making sure not to disturb the roots or take too much from one spot. Bring it home and spread it on top of your garden soil. Forest stuff keeps moisture in, feeds soil life, and slowly adds organic matter as it breaks down, much like mulch or compost. The unique mix of materials helps improve soil structure and encourage helpful bugs and fungi. Try it around trees, berry bushes, or woodland plants for a boost that's just like nature's own recipe. Use hay bales for mulch or planting. Hay bales have more uses in the garden than you might think. Place whole bales around your plants as a thick mulch, or set up a straw bale garden by planting directly into bales that have been watered and conditioned for a few weeks. As hay breaks down, it feeds the soil and holds moisture, helping roots stay cool and damp during hot weather. The dense material also blocks weeds and adds organic matter as it decays. Be sure to use hay that hasn't been treated with herbicides and water it thoroughly before planting. Some gardeners sprinkle compost or soil on top to give seeds a head start. Hay bales are perfect for quick, raised beds and can be placed wherever you need an instant garden. Salvage rocks from empty lots. Keep an eye out for rocks and stones in empty lots, construction sites, or even old fields. These can be used to build garden paths, borders, or raise beds without spending a cent. When you find a spot with extra rocks, make sure to get permission before collecting. Use sturdy gloves and a bucket or wagon to haul them safely. Arrange the stones to edge your flower beds. Make stepping stones, or even create small retaining walls to hold soil on a slope. Rocks help retain heat, keep weeds down, and give your garden a natural look. Larger stones can also be used to mark the edges of vegetable patches or as a decoration. If you rinse off any dirt before using, the rocks will look even better in your landscape. Fertilize with chicken manure from backyard flocks. If you or a neighbor keeps backyard chickens, the manure they produce can become a powerful garden fertilizer. After cleaning the coop, collect the droppings along with straw or bedding and let the pile age for a few months in a corner of the yard. Aged chicken manure is packed with nitrogen and other nutrients that boost plant growth, but it's too strong to use fresh. Once it's well composted, spread a thin layer on your garden beds and gently work it into the soil before planting. The nutrients soak in, helping vegetables grow lush and green. Always wear gloves when handling manure and wash your hands afterward. Avoid using fresh manure directly on edible crops to prevent burning or possible contamination. Use clay pots, wood boxes, or metal tubs. Don't worry if you don't have fancy garden containers. Look around for old clay pots, wooden boxes, or metal tubs to use instead. All these make great planters as long as there's drainage at the bottom. If needed, drill or poke holes before adding soil. These containers are sturdy and can often be found for free or cheap at yard sales or flea markets. Fill them with potting soil and use them for herbs, flowers, or even small vegetables. Clay pots keep roots cool, wood boxes look rustic, and metal tubs last for years. Arrange your mixed containers in groups for a fun, layered effect on your patio or porch, and move them easily if you need to catch more sun or shelter from rain. Grow nasturtiums. Nasturtiums are a smart choice for any garden because they're easy to grow, edible, and help keep pests away. You can plant the seeds directly in the ground after the last frost. Just poke each seed about half an inch deep and a few inches apart. Nasturtiums thrive in poor soil and don't need much fertilizer. Their bright, cheerful flowers add color, while the round leaves and blossoms are tasty in salads and sandwiches. These plants act as a trap crop, attracting aphids and other pests so they leave your vegetables alone. As nasturtiums sprawl, they shade the soil, keeping it moist and stopping weeds from sprouting. You can let them trail out of pots or fill empty corners of your yard. For a longer bloom, snip off faded flowers and water regularly during dry spells. Choose plants suited to your climate. Picking plants that naturally thrive in your local climate makes gardening much easier and more productive. Grandpa always took time to study which flowers, vegetables, or shrubs grew best in our area, then focused on those. Native and well-adapted plants need less water, fertilizer, and care because they're already used to the temperatures, rainfall, and soil around you. Visit a local nursery and look for labels that say drought tolerant or cold hardy, depending on what your weather is like. Ask neighbors or garden clubs for advice on their favorite varieties. Try grouping plants with similar needs together so they all thrive. When you choose climate-smart plants, you'll spend less time fighting pests or struggling to keep things alive, and your garden will look healthier with less effort overall. Divide bulbs like daffodils and irises. Over time, daffodils and irises can grow crowded and stop blooming as much. To keep them healthy and make more plants, dig up the bulbs after they finish flowering and the leaves start to yellow. Carefully pull the bulbs apart. Each healthy bulb can be replanted to start a new clump. Shake off extra dirt and trim any dead roots. Replant the bulbs about 3 times as deep as they are tall, giving each one a few inches of space so they have room to grow. Water them well, and you'll soon see fresh leaves the next year. Dividing bulbs helps prevent disease, gives you extra plants to spread around or share, and keeps your flower beds blooming strong for seasons to come. Try it every few years for best results.